Welcome to the TopRank Marketing News Roundup. I'm Tiffani Allen.
And I am Joshua Nite.
Yes, you are.
I'm trying to be more assertive.
It's working.
Trying to develop my personal brand. Because your personal brand is powerful and it's something that can change the way that people perceive you. Would you like an example?
Yes.
Well, an example in the news right now is that some social media sites are saying that they no longer want to be known as social media sites. They feel like it's a category that is now part of a larger thing, so that being labeled social is limiting. For example, you wouldn't want to be just a social media marketer.
Right.
You'd want to be a marketer who has a social component.
Right.
So, or in my case, an antisocial component. So,
Fair.
Talking to cameras is easy. Talking to people is hard.
It's true.
Just saying. Anyway, some of the social sites who are kind of making the switch is Snapchat has rebranded from, Snapchat to Snap Inc. Now they're saying that they are a camera company, not a social site. Twitter moved their app from social to the news category in the App Store, and they saw that their downloads actually were increased by that.
Interesting.
So what they said was, as soon as you say you're social, you get compared to Facebook, and it's hard to compete with Facebook in that space. But in the meantime, Facebook says that they are not a social platform either, what a joke to refer to them as a social platform. They are a much larger media platform.
Of course.
So perception being reality, social media is not a thing anymore. It's just media.
Interesting. Makes sense, I suppose, as everything sort of changes in the world of the internet.
And the internet.
Internet. That's the internet with a capital I, for those of you who don't know. Well, I learned something equally interesting this week, Josh.
Intrigue me.
I will. So, there's a new study that's telling us what consumers find annoying that brands do online and what causes them to unfollow brands online.
Okay.
A lot of this has overlap, but I wanted to point out a few interesting points. The top behaviors that people find annoying that brands do online are posting too many promotions, which obviously no one really likes that. Using slang and jargon, and that really threw me off because I love slangs.
Yeah, slang is totally fetch.
Yes, yeah.
And is never dated.
Ever. But that's fair,
As
I suppose. No, not today. But that's fair. So, we move on. Not having a personality online is another very annoying thing, which is interesting to me because I don't know how you can annoy somebody if you're boring, but I guess it's annoying to be boring.
Yeah.
I guess. And the last one, my favorite one, is something that I personally am very triumphant at, which is trying to be funny and not succeeding.
So when you're creating your social media strategy, which is now just a media strategy,
Yes,
by the way, you will want to say, try to be funny and succeed.
Yes.
Don't stop at try to be funny.
Yeah. Our
Success.
brand voice is funny.
No.
I try.
Successfully funny.
That's right. The best kind.
Do or do nots.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yeah, hey, look at you.
I have points. So, the reason that brands get unfollowed are similar to the reasons that people find them annoying, which is number one, too many promotions. The second one is not having relevant information, so irrelevant stuff nobody wants. The most interesting part of this was that 35% of people will unfollow a brand if they tweet too much, and 18% will unfollow a brand if they don't share enough, if they're too quiet.
That's really strange. I'm imagining like a Twitter user going, it's quiet. Too quiet.
I don't like this.
I haven't heard from Coca-Cola in days. They're dropped.
Unfollow.
Dropping them. I wish that I had enough time to micromanage my Twitter to get rid of the people who weren't annoying me.
So not happening. But I suppose those who are following you on social are more likely to buy, so it's important to pay attention to these things.
You gotta have them. Like them or not, you need them. Speaking of following people on social and things that happen on media sites that are no longer social sites, Facebook has announced an expansion of its Canvas program. Canvas is a platform, if you haven't seen it, that does a full screen mobile experience. You can make these kind of carousels that users can flick through. They can have images, they can have video, they can have 360-degree video, they can have very small rocks, they can have lots of things that people can flip through your content. So they were available to a limited number of brands, and they were they were something you would have to work with Facebook to design. So now everybody can have them, and there's a new design tool that is making it easier to put one of these together in a self-service kind of way. Plus, previously you could only use them for a campaign that had a conversion goal in mind, like a click to a website.
Sure.
But now you can do it just for brand lift and video views, that kind of thing. You can also put in links to other canvases. So really there's no reason for your follower to ever leave your content ever again.
Ever.
Just have the last one, loop back to the first one. Yeah, it's the circle of marketing, and it moves us all.
I have the circle of life stuck in my head now. We're personally responsible for
Yeah, well,
this.
go ahead with the next story. I'll just continue.
Our last story of the day is that Twitter has announced a new website conversion objective, which is supposed to help advertisers drive cost-efficient conversions at scale, which is exciting for those of us who do Twitter ads frequently. The clicks and conversions objective has very much been a website visits objective for the entirety of basically it existing. And so what they have done at Twitter is rename that to website visits conversion, which is more reflective of what you actually get out of it. And then they've launched this new conversions objective to focus specifically on converting traffic, which is really exciting. So apparently it's especially effective for retargeting website visitors, those who are already showing interest in your product, your company, getting them to come back is one of the biggest pluses for this. But of course, as we know with retargeting on AdWords, that is also a less expensive form of advertising, and you can see some really great returns from it. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of moves along in the Twitter advertising world.
I do like to see them leaning in a little harder on things that happen off-site and attribution. I will miss just having clicks and conversions as a metric because I have very fond memories of playing clicks and conversions when I was a kid in junior high. I was a level 3 social media marketer, and I had a bow of tweeting, and we would roll dice and go through campaigns, and it was super dope. Of course, back then, like clicks meant just like a click in your throat, because not so much for the internet, and tweeting was just kind of making bird sounds, which
Still really good at that.
yeah, and it's still a really valid use of the platform, I feel.
I feel like that's 90% of what I do.
Yeah, it's not just a social platform. It is a broader platform for things like making bird sounds.
Bird calls.
Yeah.
Important.
Who? No.
That's all the news we have for you this week. We'll be back next week with more riveting online marketing news. Otherwise, you can follow at TopRank on Twitter to get your fix right away, or follow me at Tiffani_Allen.
And I am at Nite Writes, Nite Writes.
Or you can subscribe to the TopRank blog, toprankblog.com, to get all of this wonderful content and more.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.